right. And on that note, welcome back to my stream. Let's dive right in. So what I did yesterday, let's switch this over. There we go. What I did yesterday was I started the stream off with a look at one of the 7-day roguelikes, and I want to do that again. So we played Bold Strike Through yesterday. We played a little bit of it just to see what the game was like. It says there are 4 levels. I thought I went through 4, but maybe I missed one. So let's take a look at the next one on the list. So I'm just playing the in-browser one, so I don't have to download anything. So we're going to try Escape the Fleet, a 7-day roguelike about navigating broken starships. So let's take a quick look at this. Ship is wrecked, the whole fleet is wrecked. Get to a teleporter and hope you end up in a working ship or a ship with a long-range teleporter to get home. Search for useful items. So at is you, T is teleporter, dot is floor, then we have walls. Secure doors that are locked or unlocked. Open doors, robots, batteries, air canisters. Okay. So like food and healing items, I guess, right? Most items have more than one function. Electric door can be opened with an emergency generator or by spending several batteries. Do you have time to go a long way around and hope to find more resources? Or we'll use a rare bomb to go through a wall and straight to the teleporter. All right. And what's the keys? So we have the arrow keys to move around. Weight is numpad 5, and of course I'm on a laptop with no numpads. So it would have been nice to have a space there. R for reload, Q for previous item, and E for next item. Okay, well, we'll try it and see if we can get away without having to do a weight. I know that's part of the strategy. So we'll figure out. Maybe if I type the number 5, maybe it'll work. Let's find out. So let's start the game. How many ships do you have to explore? Let's start small. Your spacesuit constantly uses air and power. You need to find batteries and air and power canisters. Keep going. Let's do none so we can get through the game. The usually helpful onboard robots now lash out at random. Let's do normal for that. And then we'll do normal resources. Why not? Since we don't need the batteries and air canisters to keep going. All right, so this is interesting. It's got a little room, or I wonder if this must be proc gen, right? So let's try the arrow keys here. Yep, the arrow keys work. S is it doesn't have a... That's unfortunate. It's scrolling my entire screen when I push the up arrow. It is moving my character up, but the whole screen moves up too, so that's a little frustrating. Okay, so pick up on when you walk on it. I walked up here. There's a robot. Robot doesn't seem to be attacking me. I got another air canister. Robot damages your power by 4. Really? From over there? Oh, because he was next to me? Maybe if I walk on top of him? Your battery has no effect. Your battery has no effect. Robot damages my power by 4. I'm trying to attack the robot, but it's saying my battery has no effect. And I'm trying to go down, and unfortunately it's scrolling the whole screen down. That's a shame. That's a shame. It makes the game somewhat unplayable. So I wonder if, having the numpad keys would have been better because they would tend to not want to scroll the screen, right? Because it would be seeing the numpad, the browser would be seeing the numpad instead of my arrow keys. That's unfortunate. I wonder if there's a way to emulate PowerBook. Numpad emulation. Yeah, MacBook Pro. Most version MacBook Pro, you have to press and hold the Shift key and/or the caps lock key to access the numbers placed at the top of the keyboard as a type of shortcut. Really? Oh, I love it when it jumps like that. Okay, so that's a useless numeric keypad emulator. Oh yeah, I don't want to install anything. Okay, so I guess we're out of luck on that one. That's too bad, because this looked like a pretty interesting game. And if I could avoid it just scrolling, and I can't attack the robot, it's saying my battery has no effect. So I'm not sure how else I can attack. Reload. I guess I can reload. R. Suit power refilled. My battery still has no effect. Yeah. Previous item, next item. So Q and E. Oh, I see. Bomb. Bomb, air canister, or battery. So if I want to attack it this way, I can't. Oh, so I don't have a weapon. So what if I start a new game? Is there a way to restart the game? Start game. Let's just leave everything normal. I can pick up an air canister, so I have 5 air canisters now. These are beds. I got a battery. Do I have a weapon? I don't have any weapons then, right? I do have the bomb. There's a locked door. You can't unlock a pneumatic door with a battery, and I don't have a key either. And that's locked as well. So is there anything else? I don't want to bomb. I guess this T? Oops. Oh, that's a T. That was a teleporter. Okay, so I just got teleported. That was a neat effect. So I have 6 air canisters now. I wonder what my carrying limit is. Okay, I am running out of air and power. So if I can reload, right? And then Q for the next item. Oh, Q is previous item. And then reload there. Okay. So we can go up here. There's a robot in there. But that's the only way I can go, right? But I need some sort of a weapon. And I need a key to get through to the... Oh. I used 3 air canisters to open the pneumatic door. Ah, I see. And this, I guess, is a battery thing? What did I pick up? I picked up an emergency generator. And a battery. Okay. I'm starting to get the hang of this. The scrolling is driving me nuts, though. So I have how many? I have 7 air canisters. Is this a pneumatic door? It is. I'm looking for the teleporter. Oh, I don't want to scroll off the screen. There's a battery. This is kind of neat. There's a bomb. I can grab the bomb. And see if I can avoid the robot. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to my power. Oops, okay. Well, that was an interesting game. That was kind of fun. That was Escape the Fleet by Cliffordius. Alright. Very good. Let's close out that. We've got too many tabs open. We don't need this anymore. That's Supercubers. I want to take a look at that later. We don't need the hash. That's the wizard book. This is Mizzard's expansion of my attempt at a procedurally generated bit of code for locks. What is this? This is the Roguelike tutorial. We might need this tab to reference today. That's ToggleBits thing. This is the RLTK. Good. It's mine. Okay, so all these tabs seem to be useful. Except for this one. Don't need that one. Okay. So let's go back here. So we're going to start working on procedurally generated magical items. Yesterday we just finished up making elves, or putting elves in the level here. Oop, went down one too far. So this is the little elf entrance room, and the elves left and were defeated, and now we came back, and this should be themed with the mushroom theme. So I think that might be a bug. Let's fix that. And that's in our themes. Right now we just have 7 for the mushroom glyph theme, but it should be 7, 8, and 9, and I don't think they changed that. Just a Bubble, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. Let's take a look at their code here real quick. Source map themes, and I think he might have added 7, 8, and 9. Oh, okay, yeah. 7 has the default or the mushroom glyph, and 8 and 9 have just the mushroom glyph. So we can just do that real quick here. 8 and 9. Let's do that, and then that should fix the issue that it's not actually drawing mushroom land while we're on these 2 maps. Okay, and we'll take a look at that as soon as I start building. But meanwhile, procedurally generated magical items. We've been adding longsword +1 and longsword -1 quite a bit. We could sit and laboriously type out every magical variant of every item, and we have plenty of we'd have a pretty playable game. Or we could automate some of the grunt work. What if we append a template attribute to a weapon definition and have it automatically generate the variants for us? This isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Let's sketch out what we'd like. Right, so this is what I had highlighted this yesterday. We have a bonus min and a bonus max. We've added this template magic section describing the types of items we'd like to add. We need to extend raw's item structs to support loading this information. All right, let me just take a quick look. Now that finished building, let's jump really quickly to, this is the Mushroom Grove. So you can see it's all mushroomy, and this already worked. We should be able to get to the next level. And yes, it is all, and we got mushrooms exploding all around us, and fungal beasts and things like that. Let's make our way through it real quick, and then we can get down to the next level. There's the stairs down. One of the things that would be good, I mean, theme-wise, would be to have the next level and the previous level be themed, right? But the danger there is that you don't want to have player confused as to what's a down and what's an up. All right, so this is working. Oh, I got caught out by a zombie. I want to get to the center to see the. I guess I need a spell that'll allow me to destroy one creature. Yeah, so here's the middle, and notice that this is all surrounded by mushrooms, which I guess makes sense, right? And the elves were in there. They probably have left by now. Yeah, and there's one right there at the entrance. Okay, although they're all in there. Very good. And you have to get in here, and so on. Okay, so this is all that's working now. Let's just commit that real quick. Properly theme the other 2 mushroom levels. All right, so let's add this templated longsword to our JSON file. And it goes into items. Just like that. Right, so we have this template magic, so we can extend the item structs now. So after attributes comes pub template magic. Item magic template. Okay, and the item magic template looks like this. So. Oh, interesting. They've got, so we did deserialize and debug on all these guys, but we didn't put clone on any of them. This one is asking for a clone. We'll be using clone to make copy of them to modify for each variant. Okay. So it has an unidentified. It has a bonus min. max include cursed. Okay. That's enough to load extra information. Doesn't do anything. We also need to go through and add clone to the drive, right? Okay. So unlike other additions, this doesn't modify our spawn named item function. We want to modify the raw file templates before we get to spawning. Instead, we're going to post-process the item list by the load function itself. Interesting, including modifying the spawns list. At the top of the function, we'll read through every item, and if it has a template attached, we'll add it to a list to process. Okay, so we're going to go into our load function. Unfortunately, I don't remember where that is. Is that also in RawMaster? It is. Okay, good. So this is what load looks like right now. And it looks like we're just looking at the upper half of it. So we have self raws, we have item index, item index, and we have let mut used names, hash set string. Oh, that should be a colon here. New. There we go. So we've created a new hash set of string of names that we're going to create. Oh wait, that's already there. What am I doing? So we have this. Okay, so this is still here. It's just that we're extending this a little bit. So under here, struct, new magic item. And then we're going to say let mut items to build is a vec. I'm going to again try to see if Rust can figure it out on its own. Item, self raws, item enumerate, use item contains, we log that. Self item index and use names is there. Okay, so then in here, so this is what we're modifying. If let sum template. PON, there we go, is sum, or item wearable is sum. So if it is a weapon or if it's a wearable, weapon or armor essentially, right? If template include cursed. And we're setting the bonus to -1. Interesting. I guess this goes here, this goes here, that's the if, that's the if, and that's the if. We do need to do this. After this if, we're going to go from the min to the max and then build. Oh, so we're building one for each one. Okay, for a bonus and template, bonus min, all the way up to template, bonus max. And this is items to build, push. Now, why are we doing this one? Oh, include cursed, I see. So if we're doing a cursed item, we're going to have a -1 bonus. Otherwise, or both, we're going to have both. Right, for curse will include a -1 plus the min max, min to max. If it's not cursed, then there's only the min to max. Something is marked as templated, but isn't a weapon or armor. Oh, that's this if here, right? That's all he has, right? Armor. Okay. Then after we're done with reading the items, we'll add a loop to the end to create these items. Ooh. This is more complicated than I thought it would be. So after we're done reading the items, so that's down here. Is this the function? Yeah, that's pub load. So I'm assuming it goes right here. Let's just double check that that's where this goes before I go too far into it. Raw master. No, it does not go there. Let's look at this for NMW. There it is. Oh, it's in a separate. Oh, maybe we're gonna extract it later. Okay. So where does build magic weapon or armor come from? And that is where. That is in the load function. Okay, very good. So let's go right to that. For NMW. Okay, let base item index. So we get that. We clone it. If NMW bonus is -1, so it's a cursed item. Base item copy.name is format -1. Otherwise, oh, we can pull this out, right? Otherwise, format this plus this. NMW name, NMW bonus, like that. Negvorsa viewers less than the threshold and increase the font. You want this font a little bit bigger? I can. How's that? That's a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's that, and now we're going to create the magic. See the way that he did it this way, right? Oh, this has the match inside here, so we're going to create the base item copy.magic. So why do we clone this? I guess we're cloning the whole type and then just setting those fields. Okay. So class is going to be a match on the bonus. And if it's 2 or 3 or 4, we're going to call it rare. If it's 5, it's going to be legendary. And then if it's 1 or anything else, it's just going to be common. So that means if it's 6, it's also going to be common, but okay. And then after class, we have naming, which is base item copy template magic. As ref unwrap unidentified name dot clone. Right. And then cursed is going to be if NMW bonus is -1. Some true, else none. That's interesting because it's an option rather than a bool. So that's a magic item, that's a sum, that's that. What's this then? That's in the 4. Okay. So now initiative penalty. Okay. This is... Oh, we're getting it from the mutable copy. I see. Okay, I got it. If let's base value. Okay, I'm gonna skip this song. Base item copy initiative. Oh no, base value as mutt. Plus 1 times 50. Okay, this is an interesting calculation. Where does that come from? And then we have the weapon. If let some mutt weapon hit bonus. This I understand that we're getting a mutable reference to the initiative penalty, and this is a mutable reference to the base value, but we don't put mute in here. Here we put mute. Maybe because it's a struct. Okay, and then if final bonus. Oh, we can do the same thing here. Weapon base damage is equal to final bonus is greater than 0. Weapon base damage. Oh, just put the format. And it's going to be something d something plus something. And die final bonus. Else, if final bonus. So final bonus is 0. We don't see something d something. I'm going to cheat here. Format n, because we can do that now, right? We can put n, die, and then final bonus. We can do this with Rust. So this is going to be n d die minus final bonus. And it's already got a negative sign, so that's going to get printed out by magic there. So we don't need to do this abs business. I'm cheating. Oops. So that ends that if, and then if let some mutt armor. Sometimes the game calls it armor, sometimes it calls it wearable. It would be nice to be consistent. Just call it wearable everywhere. Okay. And then we're going to take the, what are we doing here? We're copying the name. We're pushing the copy, and then what are we doing with the real name here? Oh, I see. In order to use it here, we need to get a copy of it here. Otherwise, it's going to say it's been moved or something like that. Okay. So we clone the name, self, raws, items, push. So now it's in the raw items, self, item, index, insert. Here's another place where we need the real name, a clone of it. Self, raws, items, len, -1. And then self, raws, spawn, table, push. Right, because we have the spawn table that's built for us in the JSON file, but now we have to add an entry to it so we can actually spawn it. And it's going to have a name, which is the clone of the real name. The weight, 10 minus I32 abs NMW bonus. Okay. So the bigger the bonus, the lower the weight. Of course, if the bonus goes higher than 10, that's it. It'll never spawn, right? And then in depth of 1 plus NMW like that. Minus 1 times 3. And the max depth is going to be 100. Okay? And then add depth to weight. None. Because we've already added the bonus to the weight here. So there's no reason to add the depth to the weight. Okay, so this loops through all the longsword plus 1, minus 1, plus 2, etc. that we created during the initial parsing. And then takes a copy of the original item. Right? That's what it's doing up here. If the bonus is minus 1, it renames it item minus X. Otherwise, it renames it item plus X, where X is the bonus. Creates a new magic entry for the item. Here. And we should already have the magic item. And I might have to do crate on this guy because I changed the way this works. Yeah, so there's the magic item. It has a class and naming in it, whether or not it's cursed. If the item has an initiative penalty, it subtracts the bonus from it, making cursed items worse and magical items better. It ups the base value by bonus plus 1 times 50 gold. Oh, the value is how much you can sell it for, maybe? So that's where that comes from. If it's a weapon, it adds the bonus to the 2 hit bonus, right? If it's armor, it adds the bonus to the armor class. And it inserts a new item into the spawn table. That's what it's doing down here. With a lower weight for better items and better items appearing later in the dungeon. If you check the online source code, I've gone through and removed all the plus 1 and plus 2 and simple cursed armor and weapons and appended the template magic to each of them. This results in a generation of 168 new items. That's a lot better than typing them all in. I agree. So that means we have to go through and do that. Let's first see if this checks. Check is getting slower and slower too. Why didn't it like that? Oh, because I misspelled that. Oops. Like that. And what else is wrong? Base item. Base item underscore copy. There we go. Okay. And then final bonus. Where did I go wrong with the final bonus? Let's just take care of this spammer real quick. Here we go. And then where's my final bonus? Here it is. Oh, right. I forgot that line right there. Okay, let final bonus equals plus new NMW bonus. There. Okay. Don't have final bonus, don't have final bonus, don't have final bonus. And this clone is not found in the scope. Method not found is an item structs item. Oh. Okay. Let's take a quick look there. At item structs. Item does have clone. But that means we have to add clone to everything. Okay. I don't know. Did he say that and I just missed it? He did mention cloning. Oh, yes. Add clone to the driver list for all structures in that file. Okay. Oops. So let's go through and add that. So I can just put it in front of, I guess I can just search for debug and say clone, comma. That one already has clone. Okay. Bonus max. Doesn't like. Did I typo it? Oh, I call it Maz. Bonus Maz. Ha. Okay. Maz. There it is. Max. Okay, what else is wrong? Template magic is misspelled. And what doesn't it like here? If maybe missing an else. Oh! Oh, okay, so it just needs to get a nothing then. Right, right here. So that's the reason he did it this way. Okay. Sure, why not? We'll just do it that way. This, do that, semicolon there. And just put that like that. Get rid of the plus, and we're done. And no semicolons needed. Okay. Oops. ABS. And then add depth to weight doesn't exist. Add map depth to weight. That's it. I think we're almost done. All right, so then all we need to do, if this succeeds, and it did, is go into our raw master, spawns, and look for all the, we have breastplate +1, longsword +1, all that kind of stuff. So we just change it to add the template, and we can find that in here pretty quickly, I think. Go raws. Come on, I thought I clicked it. So we have the, here's longsword, right? So we only need one longsword. Boom, boom, boom. So we delete all those. And then the breastplate. Well, let's put these at the top so I don't lose track of them. Breastplate, because we're going to need to go through and add the templated version of it. We also have tower shield, which has a +1 variant here. And is there anything else? There's another breastplate down here. We don't need that. It should be identical to this one. Why do we have two of them? Huh. Okay. Trisma, thank you for the follow. And that looks like all of the plus items. Hi, hello, how are you? Hope all is well. All right, so now we're going to look for the longsword, breastplate, and tower shield entries and make them templates. So we have this longsword. We also have this longsword +2, which we're going to delete. And a rusty longsword we'll keep. Here's the longsword +1. Oh, do we have two longswords? And there's longsword -1. So there's the longsword on line 3. 185 has a longsword. Yeah, and then we have another one at 1167. So why we have two of them, I don't know. But this is the templated one. Oh, because we added the templated one. So we can get rid of this one now. And I guess we'll keep the rusty one. So let's just double check here. We have longsword. Right, so this is the templated longsword. There are, oh, okay, so he didn't just add it to, okay. I'm going to not do it that way then. Here's what I'm going to do. Raw. Copy. Paste. Done. Okay. That's the way to do it, right? So now hopefully there's this longsword and it's templated. There's a scimitar I saw on there. Yeah, which is also templated, and so there's a whole bunch of template magic. We have a battle axe with templated. Okay, let me turn this off because it's very bright in my eyes. Okay, so that gives us all those items, and this gets run at load time, so it might make things very slow. Let's run this. We read through all this, and then we have trait items. Oh, right, that's one thing that's probably a mistake for copy pasting, is now we have these weapon traits and they're not handled. This might not work. It might get ignored, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. It built, and if I run it, is it going to panic or is it going to... Oh, look at that. Beginner's magic is marked as templated, but isn't a weapon or armor. Really? Oh, so we have a bug in our code. It thinks it's templated, but it actually is not templated. Okay, let's fix that bug before we move on. Oh, I put the else under the if let sum instead of weapon is sum. Okay, that's an easy bug to fix. Raw master. All right, I put the else here, and it actually belongs here. Come on, reformat for me. It didn't reformat for me. So this, oh. I guess that should have gone there. There we go, okay. All right, so now if we build it, it should do the thing. All right, so what are we doing with trait items? With the dagger of venom, we introduce a new type of item, one that inflicts an effect when you hit, right? Given that this can be any effect in the game, there's a lot of possibilities for effects. Manually adding in all the effects would take a while, and it's probably quicker to come up with the generic system and have real variety in our items as a result. Okay, so we're going to have weapon traits, and I guess one of the trait is venomous. All right, so now that got rid of all those bugs, and now we should find random longswords with various... Let's go down to the Mushroom Grove here. We have God mode on. Let's see what this thing is. I picked up the unidentified leather gloves. Ooh, that's not good. See? Oh, they're cursed. But I can remove them, right? I don't think we have... Oh, I think we did add. Yeah, you cannot remove leather gloves -1. It is cursed. That's great that the first item I found was cursed. How about this thing up here? Identified chain boots. Let's try putting those on. C. Ooh, +2 chain boots. Nice. Okay, so it's working. That's all working. That's great. Let's commit these changes. Status git diff. I'm going to see how much of this changed. Oh, a lot. Oh, there's a few things that got left alone. A few things got left alone. And then everything got rearranged. Okay, so git add raws and source, git status, git commit -m, template, plotted magic items. Okay, so let's get started by adding a new section to spawns.json. Oh, hello root, how are you? So we already added this, right? And because I copy pasted the final version of the thing, it's down here. Weapon traits. We have venomous and dazzling. I should probably remove dazzling for now because it might break. Well, let's see. We'll add more traits later. For now, we'll focus on making the system work at all. To read the data, we'll make a new file called weapon traits. Okay. Don't get confused by Rust traits and weapon traits. They aren't the same thing at all. We'll put in enough structure to allow Sturdy to read the JSON file. Okay, use SCRDE. DNB says, I see you made good progress there. It looks very cool. Yeah, so we're getting close to the end, actually. We're really close to the end here. We're on more shrooms, and then we've got 5 left to go. Although I know he's making at least one more. And that might be the final one, Dark Elf City 2. And then Derive. Okay, so we have a name for the trait, and then we have a map of trait names to something. Root DMB says, do you have anything else planned for streaming after this game? Well, so what I'm doing is I'm actually alternating weeks. 1 week I'm doing crafting interpreters, and we're almost halfway through that. We're on chapter 11. And then the other week I'm doing this. The other thing I wanted to work on, I've been doing a little research. I appreciate you asking because now I get to talk about it. Rust. I can't remember here it is. Writing an operating system in Rust. And this takes you from all the basics all the way up to everything. So testing, CPU exceptions, double faults, hardware interrupts, paging. Right, so this is memory allocation and memory management, then multitasking. And this I think is going to be a very interesting tutorial because it's all Rust. So this is what I'm looking at. This might be a good streaming tutorial. And there's a bunch of other tutorials out there that would be good to stream too. But this one caught my eye because my day job is operating systems, so I'll have a good feeling as to how things are going as I go along. All right, so we need to extend the data in mod to include it. Okay, yeah. The heck is it? I skipped right over it. Here we go. So let's just put it at the bottom here, mod weapon traits. Use like that, and then we'll add it to the raws structure just like we did for spells. So right here, pub. Like that. In turn, we'll have to extend the constructor to include an empty traits list. Actually, we don't because I implemented default. So we're all good for that. Thanks to the magic of absurdity, that's all there is to actually loading the data. Now for the hard part, procedurally generating magic items that feature one or more traits. To avoid repeating ourselves, we're going to separate the code we wrote previously into reasonable functions. Okay, yeah, that's what we were looking at before. All right, this should check. I just want to give it a really quick check here just to make sure. There we go. Routine B says, wow, that looks really interesting. Will Rust OS have some kind of GUI or be running as a command prompt? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Let me throw this in chat just in case you want to take a look and let me know. But it looks like we're doing a VGA text mode, which is interesting. And then testing. So low-level hardware stuff, right, including interrupts and memory management, does not include any GUI. And then we see multitasking here, which doesn't inspire confidence in a GUI, but it does at least allow us to learn how the operating system low-level stuff works, which would be great. And then I don't know if this is going to go any further. I see this month in Rust OS Dev. And so maybe we'll take a look at those as well. And then at some point there has to be the differentiation between userland and kernel, right? And then making an API that goes between those. System call interface, basically. All right, so a new magic item has to be pulled up out of here. right? So we put that up above. And then inside the RAWs implementation, we put this. So this is just the code we were looking at before. Right, the template magic. So this is just here. There we go. This is in the load code. So it's all of these lines here. Right? Is just in here. Routine B says I'll most definitely be tuning in for that. That's not something you've ever seen or done. Yeah, so it should be interesting, right? It should be a lot of fun. This is append magic template. So how far down do we go here? One more line, and then that's the append magic template. This says inside the RAWs implementation, but it doesn't contain a self. So it won't be a self unless we make it a self. So I'm just going to take one more quick peek at that code. Just to make sure that that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Append magic template does not have a self. And it is in here, so it's just, it's, you know, equivalent of a static function. And then we don't call it directly. Okay, so let's just keep going. This is this. So delete. Oops. Delete. There we go. And we'll put it here. And this is going to be fn append magic template. And then item is going to be super item. And it's just going to be this. And then down here, oops, didn't mean to do that. Like this. And then I'll let Rust reformat that. But let's see, what are we missing? Item template, this is all correct, right? It looks like we have all the data we need. We don't have to rename any variables. All right, and then we have this build base magic item, which is what we have here. Where is it? It's right here. Let base item index is this, let base item copy is that, and then we have this vendor category. That's some magic items. That's new. Okay, so this whole for loop, everything inside the for loop gets pulled out and returned, right? So right down to armor class down here. This whole chunk. Delete that, and then we're going to put that, I guess, up above load. And this is going to be called base build base magic item. This does have a self. And this gets pasted in here. Why don't we want to sell magic items? I mean, that seems like it would be a useful thing to do. Alright, so the base item copy name gets set, the magic gets set, so this looks all the same. The weapon is here, armor is here, and then we just want to return the base item copy, and we're done. And then we have this. This is where the for loop comes in. Which is this part here. Let base item copy is self build base magic item NNW Then we have the real name, the raws, insert, the spawn table push. All right, so that's this for loop here. And this gets moved out as well. Oop, I must have grabbed the wrong, oh no, here. There we go. So this is function build magic weapon or armor. And then paste that. Right, so that works. And then we have build traded weapons. So this is new. This part is new. All right, so there's nothing to copy paste here. Build traded weapons. And it doesn't return anything. So it just inserts it directly into the spawn table. Okay, so we're going to say items to build, iter, filter, dot bonus is greater than 0. And then we're going to do a for each on the new magic W. I don't know what W stands for yet. And that's that, and that's that. Okay, so let me click this off. It's interesting that for this one we did items to build iter. We could do the same thing up here and do a for each just to be consistent. But I guess we'll just follow what they've got. WT weapon trait, I assume, in self raws weapon traits iter. So for every trait that the weapon has, so we build the base magic item. Get a mutable reference to the weapon, and then we change the name. Base item copy name. Like this, WT name. And then base item copy name. Okay. If let some base value. Then the base value gets multiplied by 2.0. Let's close that. Let's close that. Okay. So what is this doing? It's saying if it has a base value, we multiply it by 2. I guess the 2 value here is for how much the additional trait is worth, right? So what we're doing is we're adding this specific trait. Well, we already peeked and saw what it was. It was venomous, right? Yeah, venomous. So if it's a venomous plus 2 dagger, it's going to get the 50 gold per level bonus plus multiplied by 2 for the venomous. That's why there's a magic 2.0 hard-coded in here. And then we have this unusual indentation. Not sure what's going on there. There might be... This leads me to believe that there's something else in here, because whenever we see weird indentation, it means maybe there's a greater than or less than that got messed up. So I'm going to take a peek at the code again. Oh, sorry, I forgot what this is called. Build traded weapons. No, it's just indented weird. Okay, no worries. We're gonna fix the indentation. Weapon proc chance equals sum. So it's hard coding the proc chance to 0.25. So proc chance means how often is the venomous effect going to take effect. Or any of the special attack thing is going to take effect. And then we have real name because we need to have a clone of the name so we can put it in place. Clone, C-L-O-N-E. Oh, wow. There we go. I'll get there eventually. And then self raws items push base item copy. This chunk of code looks like it's repeated. Might be nice to be able to extract that out. Insert real name clone. Self raws items len -1. And then self raws spawn table. The spawn table entry has a name. This time it's 9 minus. Instead of 10 minus. And max depth is 100. All right, so I'm still confused by this weight business here. We're subtracting the bonus off of 9. So the bigger the bonus, the smaller the weight, and it could go negative if the bonus goes too high, right? All right, I guess I shouldn't worry about it too much. So we have this, used items. Let's collapse these down here. We don't need these things. Actually, we can just put these at the top, right? And then we have this part here. We have the mob section next. The prop. Oh, I have props here, and then spell. Where's spell? Here's spell. Let's put these in the same order they've got then. Okay, we got props. Let's put that here after mob. Then we have this spawn loop after props. Then we have the loot here. Oops. Right, and then we have the faction calculation after the loot. Then we have the spell, and then we're going to call self build magic weapon or armor. And we're going to say build traded weapons. Okay, so the only thing append magic template. Where does this get used? I don't see it getting used anywhere. All right, well, let's see if this checks. Of course it doesn't. Oh, I misspelled copy. That's the only error. We have 3 warnings, probably because we're not using append magic template, right? Let's do a quick check. While we look for that function. Here it is. So let's look for it in the code. I mean, in the, there's one of 2. Ah, yes. Okay, good. So I'm glad I did that because, and the reason this is failing is because we didn't call build magic template. Okay, so that's easy enough to fix. So each item, blah, 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 used names, insert. Oh, interesting. Duplicate item in raws, and then it just carries on regardless. Here, our previous iteration had else. So I'll just keep it that way. Raw, master, append magic template, mod items to build, item. Nope, just 1. Okay, so that should clean up all the warnings. Good. All right, so that checks. You notice that there is a new function there called build traded weapons. This iterates through the magic items, filtering weapons only, and only those with a bonus. I don't really want to get into what a cursed venomous dagger does just yet. It reads through all the traits and makes a rarer version of each magical item with that trait applied. Let's go ahead and add one more trait to spawn.json. We did that. If you cargo run now, you'll sometimes find such wonders as a dazzling longsword +1 or a venomous dagger +2. All right, let's go see if we can find those. And that actually finishes up the whole chapter. So if this all works, oh, the other thing I haven't done in a while and I need to do before I commit these changes, or before I push these changes, is run a Clippy on it. But before we do that, let us go find some dazzling longswords, and the farther down we go, the more likely we'll find them, right? So there we go. Let's reveal this and then see if we can find, what is this? Unidentified chain boots. Let's wear them. C. Oh, they're just plain chain boots. Oh, I guess that's true. It's only weapons that have the proc effects, not armor. Ooh, looks like we have 2 downstairs. So let's go find, there's a weapon. What did we pick up? We picked up an unidentified short sword. Okay, let's equip it. E. Oh, it's a -1. Dang it. Okay, refresh. The reason I got to start again is because cursed items you don't remove. Okay, there's something right there, right off the bat. We picked up an unidentified cudgel. Oh, I don't think cudgels get venomous and stuff, but we can try wielding it. See. Oh, it is. There's a dazzling cudgel +3. So I just attacked. Player hits Fungus Man for 7 HP. Oh, it didn't say that it got confused or anything like that. I can't connect. I'm not seeing it dazzle him. Oh, it panicked. Nice. Okay. Panicked, called option unwrap on none value in the melee combat system line 163. Let's fix this bug. Oh, so the proc target for the weapon is none. So I think maybe the proc was about to fire and it just failed because the target was none. So where do we set weapon info? So we got the chance happened, and the target wasn't set anywhere. I want to see where weapon info comes into play here. It's a melee weapon. Okay, so here's where proc target gets set. So where do we look that up? Oh, it's always none. Oh, okay. So we have a problem. There's code that we're missing here in the melee combat system to set proc target. Let's look that up. That would be under here, combat system. And we're going to look for proc, Auric proc target. It's never set. It looks like we had some debugging output there. If it's never set, then we're never going to get... How did this work then? If we never set the proc target? Let's see if there's any other proc target anywhere else in the code. Proc target. We do set it in raw master, and maybe what we need to do is just clone it from... I think this might be proc target. Yeah, that's the melee weapon. So if we have a proc chance, let's look for proc chance. Where does that get set? If some chance is weapon info proc chance. Oh, so where does that get set? So we came in here, so that means that it got set somewhere. So something sets it. All right, I'm missing some key piece of information here. After we construct the proc target, after we construct the weapon info, do we pass it into some function to extract data? Oh, weapon info is melee.clone. Huh. So we throw away all of the stuff we just did here, and if it's a melee weapon, then we set the weapon info here. So maybe what's missing, there's no target set there, but we should be setting the target in raw master. Proc chance and proc target for the weapon proc, right? And so, oh, right. And if we look in raw master, I mean, not raw master, in the spawns.json, I guess a dagger would be the first one to look at. No, I don't see where... That's right, we did hard code it, raw master, to 0.25 for the proc chance. And there's proc effects clone. So we need to actually have a weapon.proc target somewhere. That's what's missing. And is that in here? Under the raw master code. There we go. Let mut wpn. Yeah, so that doesn't exist. Let's look for proc target. That's, oh, here. That's in here. So we do, it's set there, but we don't set it in the load. Oh, because we add it to the spawn table. Okay. We added the spawn table. I'm just scrolling back down to here to take a look here. We have weapon proc chance and weapon proc target. And it's coming from the item template of weapon, which would have been loaded. Let's see, take a look at raw's spawns. And there's no proc in here anywhere. Okay. Yeah, so There's something missing. We gotta figure this out. So we have all the other effects. If I go longsword, here's a weapon. It has a range, which is melee. Attribute is might. There's the base damage, which is here. Hit bonus is 0, which is here. And then we're missing proc and proc chance. Okay. Huh. All right. This is puzzling because I copy pasted this from here. So this should be identical to what they've got, proc. And if I look for proc, there's no proc in here. And if I look at the bottom where they put the proc effect, the weapon traits, this venomous and dazzling, those are there. And there should be something in here that says it can be traded, but what are we doing with the, that's the class. So I wonder if that ever shows up anywhere. Alright, so we have the weapon base damage, we have this. This builds magic weapon or armor by calling build base magic item and then inserts it into the spawn table. And then here's the trait. The weapon itself is copied from the base item. Yeah, I guess we can work around it with just by checking to see if it exists, right? It's kind of a cheat, but we can say, you know, if it is some, then do this, or then do the single target entity. Otherwise, we'll do once melee. So we can say if let some effect target, weapon target is equal to weapon info, weapon underscore info proc target, then we know we have a weapon target. And we can say if weapon target is equal to self, then we do this, target single. If it's not self, then we want this guy here. Okay, so yeah, let's keep that. Let's do that because I want to set let effect target. It's getting long, isn't it? And then it's this, else if I'm just trying to do it so I don't have duplicate code. And I'm ending up with duplicate code no matter what I do. Alright, so if it's self, then do this. Otherwise, do this. Else, we're gonna. This is the code I was. Oops. Yeah, this is the code I was trying not to duplicate. So if it has a target, proc target, and it's self, then we do the target single of entity. If it's not self, then we do the once melee. Otherwise, if there is no proc target, we just assume it's the thing that we're attacking. And I think this will get us around the bug, although it's kind of an unfortunate way of doing it. I'm sure there's a way to avoid the code duplication. But we'll see. We'll see if this works. And now I just want to see if we can proc an enemy. I wonder if I can use my summon code to do this. Let's find out. Because I added some code here that was kind of off the beaten path. Oh, I don't have the plus sign. I gotta add the plus sign to my template. Okay, I'll do that. But right now we'll just hop down here. Oh, good. I got one right away. Let's equip it. It's a dagger. Oh, it's just a +2 dagger. What's this one? A cudgel. It's a venomous cudgel. Okay, let's see if we can proc. I don't see... I'm looking in the text here. I hit. Oh, I killed him. I don't know if the proc effect happened. Let's try again. Bear trap triggers. No? There's only a 25% chance of a proc effect. I should log it when it happens. Venomous should poison the... I don't want to equip this because I know that we have a venomous cudgel right now. So that's working. Let's see if we can keep attacking. Nope. All right, I can point at him and see. Well, you'd think we would have gotten something by now, right? Let's try the elves, the dark elves. Oh, there we go. Okay. You see it there? Damage over time, 4. Okay, so the venomous cudgel finally venomed the fungus man. It doesn't say anything in here. It just says player hits fungus man for 9 HP. But if you the tooltip will show that he's got a dot for 4 turns. Okay, so that's working. Let me fix my my editor. Where's the editor? In the GUI? Oh, the problem with this, I made the text bigger, so now the okay, so we need to add the plus key and that means we have to look that up. RLTK, virtual key code. We have to look up what the plus let's take a look at the source because the source will... No, where's the source? The 9 key of letters, the escape key, pause break. Here's the numpads. I don't see... Where's the plus minus key? And those things. Those have to be keys, right? This is where I had this. So we can take a look at what the key was. All right, so let's rebuild that. Right, and then I still need to Clippy. And then maybe we'll call the stream because we finally hit the end of this chapter. And then tomorrow we'll start digging into Start digging into missiles and ranged attacks. But for now, let's see if we can figure out what the plus key is, because it's going to be shift equals or something like that. Is there an equals key? There is an equals, numpad equals. So maybe that's it. It's just shift equals. Let's refresh. Summon, and I'm going to hit shift. It says there's a key code L shift, and then I'm going to hit plus. Yeah, key code equals. And so then minus is just minus. Okay, so it's in GUI. Oh, tutorial. GUI. Got to figure out where I put the editor. And I put it in, oh, I put there. It needs its own file, right? Okay, so is shift. If code equals virtual key code equals, then we're going to say self text push plus. Else we're going to do the shift thing here. And then for minus, I guess we can just add that in directly. All right, and then we can summon, a virtual key code doesn't exist. Oh, RLTK. Okay, so let's see if we can summon a dazzling dagger plus 3. In 30 seconds or so. Oh, it's getting better. One of these days I'll buy a faster computer that can handle streaming and compiling at the same time. Okay, refresh. Begin new game. Summon item. Dazzling dagger plus. Oh, it didn't insert it. That's a shame. How about minus? Minus doesn't work either. Oh, what happened? Oh, I know why. I added it here, but I didn't add it to the GUI. Oh, that's a shame. Because every key code has to be passed back, which is unfortunate. It's not the best way to do this. Yeah, each one of these. So this has to be equals and minus. That's a shame. Yeah, there has to be a better separation of concerns there. You shouldn't need to add it in 2 spots. All right, refresh, begin new game. Yes, and then let's try the plus sign. Plus sign works, minus sign works. Okay, good. So dazzling dagger plus 3. It wasn't able to summon it by name that way. So the question is, how is it inserted into the... I should be able to summon a dagger on its own. Oh, it did summon it. I was looking over here. It found an unidentified dagger. So let's try equipping C. Yeah, there you go. Dazzling dagger plus C. Summon long sword plus 4. Long sword plus 4. And what was the other one? The venomous Bandersnatch. What was it? Venomous. Yeah. So we should be able to summon a venomous battle axe. I gotta clear this out. Venomous battle axe +2. F. Okay, so that's all working. All right, that's great. So get status, get add source, get status, we're good. Get commit -m, weapon traits, and now I'm gonna do Clippy and see what blows up. There's a few things. If chain can be rewritten with match. Consider rewriting the if chain to use compare and match. Huh. So how would that look? So we could say match final bonus compared to 0. Maybe, and then say what are the let's do this and then comment this out and see what it complains about. Is there a greater than or less than or something? Expected I32 found integer. That's easy to fix. Which arms are missing? Less, equal, and greater. And they come from standard comp ordering. Okay, so that's the greater one. So we do greater. Less. And then otherwise do nothing. Right? That's what it's looking for. I don't know. Is that easier to read? Clippy doesn't seem to mind. Or Clippy seems to think it's a better way to go. Sure. All right, and what was the other thing? So this line 123, although now it's changed, right? Base item copy, and then 146. Let's rerun Clippy to get the actual line numbers. So we can just remove the ampersands, and that'll clean those up. 127 and 150. Okay. Clippy this up. Yeah, and then we can call this a stream. I think we're good. Tomorrow, again, we're going to start off. I'm going to start off every stream now with just taking a look at one of the 7 DRLs from 2022. We looked at this on Tuesday. We looked at this one today, Escape the Fleet. And we're having a few issues with playing it in the browser and arrow keys and things like this. And then tomorrow will be Lyriel's library. We play as the second assistant librarian. Okay, interesting. And then after we're done with that, we will learn about missiles and range attacks. So meanwhile, add source, get commit, Clippy, get push. There we go. And then if we look over here, no, over here, we can take a look at how far we've come today. 360 commits. No scope. Yeah, so yesterday was all the mushroom stuff and the drow elves. And today we added templated magic items with proc effects, and then we fixed that bug. I'm going to pull down his source, this chapter 69 mushrooms 2, and try to build it and see if it has the same issue, or if there's maybe there's something I missed in the conversion that was causing the bug that I should be putting into the code. But the proc effects are working. We already tested that, so we know everything's okay. Meanwhile, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope to see you tomorrow with a little more of the roguelike stuff. And then next week, we're going to get back into crafting interpreters. All right, take care, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow.